Hello and welcome to a DFS strategy video for the 2025 American Express. My name is Eric and I'm here at SweetSpotDFS to go over everything you're going to need to know on how to target the optimal lineup this week. In these videos, I like to go over the course and tournament information first, just to give you the data points that you're going to want to use when you research which golfers you want to play. But then we're going to get right into the meat and the potatoes. We're going to get right into the sweet spot process. I'm going to talk about pass optimal and GPP winning lineups to let you know what type of previous or historic salary structures or just lineups have won. GPPs, which ones were the optimal, that kind of thing. I'll show you with a fun tool from SweetSpotDFS.com that I created that I think if you wanted, check it out. You should check it out. It's very fun. And yeah. I'll showcase that during the segment for the pass optimals. I'm going to review last week's tournament. I want you guys to know how good the sweet spot process did. And so we're going to review the Sony Open, which I had a sweat. I had a sweat for some decent money. So unfortunately it didn't come to fruition. I had 4 golfers who parred the easiest hole, which was the last hole, par 5. 4 parred it. If Nico would have won, if Steven Yeager would have won, I would have made some decent money. But it was still a successful week, so I'm proud of that. And again, we'll review that after the pass optimal and GPP winning lineups, because I want to show you how well the sweet spot process did to then go into the sweet spot process, and that is looking at the bucket system and the Marquee Tee Times. So I'll be talking about those for the American Express, and then that will get you a pretty good idea who to anchor your lineups around, because that's the whole point of this show. It's the whole point of me doing this for you guys, is to find our anchor plays, build around them. You know, it still is going to take your gut feelings about certain players, but let's use a little bit of science behind the lineup building process. So that is what I have in store for your guys' video tonight. And I apologize. I played some pickleball earlier, and it was a little bit further away than typically, and I was starving. So I had to get me some food, and I don't have everything up and running. We're going to go over giveaways pretty soon. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to throw it on the screen, let you guys look at it, because I do a weekly and a monthly giveaway every single video, or not a monthly giveaway every video, but I do a weekly giveaway every video. It's worth $5, and if you want to get into it, all you have to do is participate in the chat. I'm going to have roll calls where I'm just going to say, hey, say this phrase, say this word, say whatever. This is your roll call. This will get you an entry into the giveaway. It's just my way to reward those that are watching this video. So if you want in on that, just stick around. Another way you can get an entry, so even if you're here in the live video, just by participating in the roll calls, you get an entry into the giveaway. But you can also comment after this goes live or after it posts. Because obviously when I hit end record or end live or end broadcast, I should say, what'll end up happening is it then gets published out to YouTube for you to watch it as many times as you want. So that's called the replay. If you go in and comment there, you'll get an additional entry, or you'll get your first entry. And most of the people in the chat, like Joanne, nice to see you. Lombardi Lee, nice to see you as well. They all know it takes just one entry, just one, in order to win $5. You can put that towards whatever. I'll pay you through Google Pay, Venmo, PayPal. It's just my way to reward you for being here, watching the show, or watching it on replay. So easy peasy, man. Be subscribed, comment when I ask you to, or when we do the roll calls, or comment, or I shouldn't say or comment when this goes on replay. And then all those giveaways, I'll throw them on the screen, but you can see the monthly giveaway is $100. All of those go towards the monthly giveaway. So I have Tournament of Champion participants here. I also have the Sony Open participants. So last week's show, DFS Strategy show, if you left a comment Or if you were here in the live video for the roll calls, you got entries into it. So I'm keeping track of all the people that do comment in the, well, for the roll calls, but also on replay. So you can get yourself an extra entry that way. I did explain that quite thoroughly. I know it took a little bit more time than usual, but I just want to remind you guys, like, I look at the comments. I appreciate all you guys being here, and it's my way to reward you. So why not repeat myself every single week to be like, hey, do you want to win $5? All it takes is just a little bit of effort on your side. That's it. Just a little bit of effort. So here we go. We are going to do the giveaway. There were 14 total entries between the replay and the roll calls. I always like to do a drum roll first. AJ Love Music. AJ Love, as we call him. Congrats, man. You are the $5 winner. So I'll Venmo that to you. Last week, by the way. Oh, Todd Madden, what's going on? I don't know if I've ever seen you in the chat, but welcome. Welcome on, or thank you for being here. I gotta repeat something from last week. So AJ Love was in the chat. He's like, I think I'm going to take a little bit of a break. Like, I just want to get my finances in order and all that good stuff. Ryan Henson, who usually goes by Big Colts fan or Big Gamer R, I can't remember on DraftKings. He messaged me and said, hey, I want you to give that $5 I won to AJ because he wants to see AJ play. And I thought that was awesome. I reached out to AJ. I said, hey, Ryan wants to give you $5. It's up to you if you want to take it. And he was ecstatic. So look at this. We're helping AJ out once again. There he is. There's AJ in the chat. What's going on, AJ? So yeah, it's awesome. Great community. I love it. You guys rock. Let's put it that way. So AJ, you win. I will get you the money either later today or tomorrow. I won't lie. When I end streaming, I'm just like, I need to just relax. And then sometimes I fall asleep and I forget about it until the next day. So I'll still get you that $5 when I can. So congrats, man. All right. I want to remind you, okay, I was just about to get into the video, but I want to remind you of one more thing. I am building lineups with an optimizer that you guys can access. You guys can have this. I encourage you guys to go to SweetSpotDFS.com and request it that way. I'll show you here in a second. Or you can contact me at SweetSpotDFS@gmail.com. So those are the two ways that you can request the optimizer, but I will be building optimizers I'll be building lineups with this optimizer here, and you can have it if you want it. And here, I'll show you. Go to SweetSpotDFS.com. I don't know if you guys know this, but I have a website. Go to Fantasy Tools. There's a little drop down and go to Optimizer. I think maybe I'll change this to Request Optimizer, but if you drill on this, it'll go to the Optimizer page and a pop-up will appear. Now, I've had these browsers open for forever, so that's why it's taking a little bit of time. But this is where you'd go request your email and say, hey, I would like the optimizer. Just hit the request now, and then I get sent an email. Unfortunately, it doesn't trigger an automatic response to be like, oh, this email comes in, let me reply and get it. I have to visually see it, and then I'll send you that optimizer. And then secondly, I have a cheat sheet available to you. I've got two of them, actually. So if you go to SweetSpotDFS.com, yet again, go to Fantasy Tools, the little drop down will happen. Go to Cheat Sheet. You will see this sheet that's called, it's the American Express cheat sheet. This is just what I used to look at when I first started playing fantasy sports. I used to come to a page that looks like this through my spreadsheets that look just like this, and I would determine who I wanted to play based off of this. And I won't lie, you guys can use whatever I talk about in this video. You can use that information here because we're going to be talking about last year ones. I need to change that. Oh, that's sorted. Bummer. Yeah, I'll do that later. Or course history ones or recent form ones And this all means something to those, or people know what that means who've come to this video frequently. I do need to update the information too, to have the new salaries in for the guys. But you can use this cheat sheet, or if you scroll down on the page. Now you got to scroll down on the page, not in the report. If you scroll down in the report, it's just going to scroll through the report. So go all the way over to the side, scroll down with the page, and you'll see the typical cheat sheet that I provide you guys. You can click that button. It will give you the Google Sheet access, and then you can check out the Google Sheet here. So again, everything that I'm going to be covering in this video, you will find here. This cheat sheet, this one here on the screen, it's a replica of the sheet I have. And you also have access to the bucket system, which again, I will be covering. So you can follow along with me throughout this video. If you're watching this live or if you're watching this on replay, it's available to you guys. So those are the laundry list of items to go through. I know it takes a little bit of time, but I appreciate y'all for being here. And Todd, if you're still watching, love it. New here, it's awesome. Should get bonus entries, had last week's winner. Oh, Joanne, I should have mentioned that. I was going off about how I could have won a lot of money when someone in the community, Joanne, she called Nick Taylor to win the tournament, and sure enough, he did. Joanne, I don't know if you watched Byron and Kenny's show, the Degenerate or whatever their show is called. You won a contest. Did you know that? I want you to know that you won a contest. I don't know if Byron reached out to you or if Kenny reached out to you, but Kenny was talking about how it's hard to get a hold of you. I almost wanted to chime in, or, after I was watching on replay, to be like, hey, you won a contest. So, you did. I don't remember what you won, but you did. So, go claim your prize. What's going on, Ryan? Nice to see you, man. Excited about this week. I'm so grateful for this community. AJ says, yeah, there we go. Oh, okay, perfect. I just want to let you be aware. All right, let's go ahead and get into this thing. We're going to talk about the course and tournament information. Here we go. So I'm going to shamefully plug the website once again. If you go to the homepage of SweetSpotDFS.com and you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you're going to see quick links right here. You drill down on the tournament fact sheets. I go over this information every single week. I literally go right to this page. I find the tournament fact sheets, drill down on this week's tournament, and obviously we have the American Express. The American Express is played at 3 golf courses, and it's all in the La Quinta area, the Palm Springs area. I used to live out there. I used to go to this golf tournament to watch it. That's why during this week, I always remind you, this is dormant Bermuda. Do not look at Bermuda stats, and don't listen to anybody that calls it Bermuda. This is one of those weeks where degenerate gamblers from actual knowledgeable golf people. This is one of those weeks, because this is desert golf in the wintertime. Desert golf in the wintertime is super easy. All the grass the rough is a dormant grass. It is the most brittle, the most thin grass imaginable. Golfers will have zero issue hitting out of the rough. The only issue that they'll come across during this entire tournament is if they find themselves in a lie that has already been chewed up by somebody else. And what I mean by that is with their irons. Divots. Like, there are collection areas. We saw this with Patrick Cantlay one year where he chipped in. Balls can funnel down to collection areas where everyone's hitting from. That's the only there are some cavernous bunkers on the stadium course, but La Quinta's very flat. One of the easiest walks you'll ever have on a golf course. Like, it's surprising, like, Tiger Woods doesn't play this tournament because of how easy it is to walk. But I suppose these rounds are going to be about 6 hours long. And if you didn't already know, it's 2 golfers per tee time because they're playing with amateurs. Usually this tournament is more about your business investors than it is really celebrities. There will be some celebrities out there. I mean, it used to be just jam-packed with celebrities when it was the Bob Hope, but now it's like more business people. And I have a kind of, I wouldn't say a hot take, but I think your Patrick Cantlays and your businessmen type of PGA Tour golfers thrive at this golf course or at this type of tournament because they're wheeling and dealing on the golf course. That's just my 2 cents. They might not be. You know, Patrick Cantlay might be playing with a friend, you know, where he's already business buddies with or buddies with in a business venture. And that actually could cause more stress than usual because you're playing with your buddy, and this is a true pro-am. So, like, you know, there is the amateur cut, and then there is the pro. I always just say a cut. There's the amateur tournament of the or version of the tournament, and then there's the pro. The pro version of the tournament. I'm pretty sure, and it ends after 3 rounds. The amateur part of it. The pro one, they play the 4th day at the PGA West Stadium golf course. So basically throughout this entire, the reason I'm bringing it all up is they're going to be really long rounds. So people with very little patience aren't going to do well. I mentioned Tiger earlier. 6 hours on just standing up might be too much for them. But I do think if you want to play that narrative in your head, and it's just a narrative, there's really no truth behind it, that your Patrick Cantlays would actually excel at this type of event probably has to do with the fact he's playing with a business person in the Pro-Am. So I'm just throwing that out there just in case it sticks, if it lands, whatever. But again, we have 3 golf courses. La Quinta's extremely flat. That's what got me onto Tiger, and that's what also got me onto the 6-hour rounds. But you got La Quinta, it's flat. PGA West is not super easy, but it's still scoreable. Same goes with the stadium course. And much like a lot of the other people in the industry are talking about, they're saying because it's a pro-am, they're going to make the pins easy to speed up play. I agree with that to the most extent, or to some extent. And the pins are always going to be the same for the first 3 days. Because technically that would be an advantage for some if they changed pins every single day. So, like, for instance, I think it's on hole 1 or hole 10 of the stadium course, the only course that we're going to actually have TV coverage on. That pin on the first 3 rounds is always in the back right or the back left of the green, always. And that's kind of where balls funnel to. It's just an easier pin location. So keep that in mind, or don't. It's noisy. It's very noisy information, but it's information for you to have regardless. Again, I stated that there's overseed, or I said there's dormant Bermuda, but where there isn't dormant Bermuda, there is ryegrass. Ryegrass throughout the golf course and POA on the greens. I believe I saw bent grass last year. I've always remembered these being more of a bent grass type of overseed. I'm not treating this like typical POA. Normally with a POA overseed, you don't get the same characteristics that you do with a POA native grass. So when we talk about like the Farmers Insurance Open, where they play Torrey Pines South Course, that's traditional POA. When they play the the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am, that is native POA. Like, that's actual character, you know, like a real POA grass being used. This isn't that type of POA. Like, sure, the seeds might bud towards the afternoon, and that's where you get that little bumpy surface, but I'm still going to treat these like bent grass. These greens are going to roll pure. They're going to have very, very little undulation. There's nothing to worry about with the greens. If you look at the cheat sheet, I'll pull the cheat sheet up and I go to the dream sheet. I actually have bent grass as the grass stat. And let me zoom in so you guys can see it a little bit easier. And I'm going to hide this column. You can see I have bent grass as the number 1 grass, and then number 2 are Pete Dye events. This is a Pete Dye golf course. The PGA West Stadium course is a Pete Dye golf course. And I just put it there because he has a very unique way of creating golf courses. He tries to be very misleading with how tee boxes are set up versus how the angles of the fairways are, and also the greens. Like, it's just, they call it diabolical. Pete Diabolical. And that's why I include Pete Dye stats in there. It's very minuscule. Like, it's not going to make a huge difference as to which golfers have an edge over another, but it's still worth putting in there. But yes, Pete Dye Stadium course. This will be a par 72. I don't remember how showdown slates work when it comes to this, but if you were to, actually last year, they only had showdown for one golf course. And I don't remember which one it was, but it was only for one golf course. So it's not like you're going to get a huge advantage where we would tell you to avoid golfers at the Pete Dye golf course, the Pete Dye Stadium course, and play people at the La Quinta Country Club, because the Country Club is the easiest of all the golf courses, including, so let me talk about the golf courses. Again, you have the La Quinta Country Club, you had the Pete Dye Stadium course, and you've got the Jack Nicklaus tournament course. Keep all those things in mind, and other data points you can use are the par 72s, the yardages that come with it. I don't know. It's really, this week is just kind of a crapshoot. When we talk about the tournament, you have 156 golfers in the field, but it's split up into threes. So you're going to have a third of them on La Quinta, a third of them at the Nicklaus tournament course, and a third of them at the PGA, or the PGA West Pete Dye Stadium course. There will be a cut after three rounds. And I have seen GPP winning lineups only have 5 golfers make the cut. Because, kind of like what we were mentioning, they're going to make these golf courses fairly easy to score the first 3 days because amateurs are playing with them. That 4th day, they'll make it a bit tough, like a little bit more difficult. And you'll have more of your tournament pins. You'll have more of your tournament tees. So it lengthens out the golf course and also makes approach shots a little bit more difficult. So scoring isn't as easy on Sundays as it is Thursday through Saturday. So your golfers will probably get a majority of their points. I shouldn't even say it that way because obviously they are. But in comparison to the 4th round of scoring, more of the points will come rounds 1, 2, and 3, individually than they would round 4. So keep that in mind. Like it's a crapshoot, and people call it a putting contest. That it is. People are going to score a lot of birdies at this tournament. Yeah, that would be a data point if you wanted to use birdie or better. Try to find golfers that score really well on easy golf courses, resort style golf courses, as well as just this tournament. That would be a good way to go about it. And then your strength of field's 381. I like to go over strength of field just to see what type of competition this tournament is going to have compared to previous years. So 381, that's pretty good. I would be surprised if never mind. 437. That's because I think Scotty Scheffler and Xander were playing last year. In 2023, it was 400. So this year is actually a little bit, okay, so 2022 is a pretty decent comparison. 2022, your strength of field rating was 321, and in 2021, I don't have it. Okay. So this is the second weakest strength of field in the last 4 years. And that has a lot to do because Xander withdrew. Scotty would have played this tournament, but he obviously injured his hand and withdrew from this event last week or something like that. So yeah, I think the strength of field would have been better, but obviously it's not. And we only have 2 10K golfers. So the main pieces of information you need to know, this is a 3-round cut. Cuts will happen after round 3. Very easy scoring. Dormant Bermuda, POA overseed on the greens, ryegrass in the fairways, and some of the rough. They're putting some overseed in the rough. So those are all data points you can use. Par 72s, under 7,200 yards, easy scoring. So use all of those for your data points. And that's it for the course and tournament information. I see Cody Gamble in the chat. What's going on, man? This tournament has cooked me for 3 to 4 straight years, or years straight. I really toyed with the idea of just not putting a lot of money in this week. That was my original plan. But I made a $50 profit last week at the Sony, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna put that. I'm gonna hammer this one. And then they have a $1 winner take all contest, which they didn't have last week. So that's got 20 more of my dollars. So I would have this is a good week to take off, by the way. Like, it may not be worth it to play this week because of how chaotic it is. Maybe put one lineup in, because obviously you still want that lotto ticket. You want a chance to win. So that's my 2 cents. All right, let's go ahead and get into pass optimal and GPP winning lineups. I'm going to use SweetSpotDFS.com for this. I want to show you a fun tool. If you go to fantasy tools and you go to pass optimals, so just hover over fantasy tools, go down to pass optimals. This will get you to the pass optimal and GPP winning lineups. I have the American Express loaded in there, but you can go ahead and clear the selections and look at whoever you want. So this will have all the golfers that played in the American Express going back as far as I have data for optimal lineups and GPP winning lineups. So I don't really know how many years that is. I think it goes at least back to 2019, maybe 2018. Let me see. We do have information in 2018. We don't in 2017. So it goes back to 2018. So here's what you can do. When you come to this page, is you can first look at what tournament you want to select. And here's a little quick tool, or a quick tip. If you want to start from scratch, go hit the little eraser button up here, or if there's something already typed into the search. So if I were to do this, just go ahead and delete that, and it will show you all of the contests. You can either select all or deselect all, and that actually selects all. But obviously we're looking at the American Express. So drill into that, and now we have the data loaded for the American Express, and we can go to any year we want. We can look at GPP winning lineups by selecting one, or we can look at optimal lineups selecting one. And then I also have more filters here where you can go to the SweetSpot optimal and click one there. And that's what we're going to do. So we're going to start in 2019, where I do have optimal, GPP, and SS optimal, which is your SweetSpot optimal. So in 2019, let's take a look at the GPP winning lineup. And this is kind of cool because you can see the amount of salary that was spent to win the GPP in 2019. You can also kind of see the makeup of this lineup up here in the little summary box that I have. So it consisted of a 10K. Again, I guess we're looking at the optimal, or the GPP winning lineup. 2 10K golfers, 1 9, and 3 6K golfers. So I'm looking at this column right here. Or you can just look at it down here. There's 49,100 was spent. And if you wanted to sort by salaries, you certainly can. You got 10-6, 10K flat, 9-5, 6-4, 6-4, 6-2. This is an embodiment of the chaos that this event is. 2 10s and a 9, and then 3 6s. Like, no one is safe at this golf course. No one's safe at this tournament. That's your GPP winning lineup in 2019. Now, if you want to look at the optimal lineup, you need to deselect the one from GPP. I mean, you could have it selected, but you're just going to lose golfers. We want to just look at the optimal lineup. It left $4,300 on the table. It did start with a 10K golfer, though. Then a $9,500 golfer, 72, 64, 64, 62. So 3 6Ks yet again. And then just to look at the SweetSpot optimal, this one most of the time your sweet spot optimal is going to be 49,600 and above for salary spent, because I want to push that going forward. And I have a tool I'm about to show you at the end of this segment that I'm working on to provide for you guys. Just another tool. This one will be really cool. This one that's on the screen right now, I love this tool. This is what I've envisioned creating for a long time. But anyways, your sweet spot optimal 11,98766. Adam Long was your winner, so you obviously needed him 6,200. This lineup would have beaten the GPP. That's what the sweet spot optimal means. So those were your three lineups in 2019: the GPP, the optimal, and the sweet spot optimal. We go to 2020, deselect 2019 and select 2020. Your GPP winning lineup used 50,000 of the salary, and it was a 10K golfer, 98776, which is the motto that I always preach, 10,98776. If we deselect the GPP winning and select optimal, you're going to see the optimal left a lot of money on the table yet again. $5,500, and it started with a $9,500 Scotty Scheffler, 89, 73, and 3 6Ks. Yet again, 3 6Ks. Remember, the GPP winning lineup did not have 3 6Ks. It just had one. And obviously the GPP winning lineup won all of the money. Just so you're aware, it won all of the money. Now, a lineup that would have beat it is the sweet spot optimal, and you could have used 49,900 to beat it. And this starts with an 11K, a 9K, an 8K, a 7, and 2 6s. So that was those were your three lineups for 2020. Your three lineups in 2021, starting with the GPP, used up all 50,000 of the salary, and that was a 10,98877. Scored 672 points. Your optimal scored 722 points. Is that the same? Oh, 672 versus 722. Okay. Lots of twos there. So a 50-point difference. And the optimal used up 50,000 of the salary. So, Drew Matthews, Red Kachik on Twitter was like, oh, now we're back to another volatile tournament where, the average salary for your optimal lineup is 43,000. That's true. There's 50,000 that you could have spent to get the optimal in 2021. 11,98776, 722. Again, okay, so your GPP winning lineup scored 672 points in 2021. The sweet spot optimal scored 711, and it used 49,600. So again, I've shown you two lineups that used more than 49,600 to take down a GPP. One was the optimal, which is the perfect lineup, and this one, the sweet spot, is the next best lineup, 49,600 and above. And that's a 10,98777. Moving on to 2022, I'm just going to keep the sweet spot optimal highlighted. So your sweet spot optimal scored, it used up 49,200, and that's largely due to not a lot of high salaries being inside the top 10 or getting even close. Remember, I want to beat the GPP winning lineup. So this is 740.5 points. 49,200 was the closest lineup to 50,000 that I could have built to take down a GPP. So we remove the filter for sweet spot optimal and go into GPP. And here you go. 670.5 points. This one used up 49,700 of the salary, and that's a 10,87776. I think I said 3 sevens. If it said 4, I meant 3. And that's 670.5 versus the optimal was 740.5. So maybe there wasn't a better lineup that was closer to 50,000. Because here you go. Here is your optimal lineup in 2022. $43,000. $43,000, leaving $7,000 on the table. You remember when Moose, who was he still is the developer for Fantasy National, he had those 7K contests. This is the, I imagine this probably had, actually this happened after he started that. Either way, this is your perfect lineup. You had to spend less than 43,000, or is 43,000 and below. Here you go. It was the optimal lineup for the American Express in 2022. That's really difficult to do. I try to encourage you guys not to leave a lot of money on the table, and I prove it through the sweet spot optimal. So 49,200, that scored 740.5. The optimal scored 761. The GPP winning lineup scored 670. Moving to 2023, your GPP winning lineup scored 810 points, 810. We're getting into goofy number territory. This is when John Rahm won it, and it went that lineup was 10, 8, 8, 7, 7, 6. The optimal scored 863. That's 53 more points than the GPP, and that was a 10, 10, 8, 7, 6, 6, and that left $200 on the table. Your SweetSpot optimal left $300 on the table and scored 813.5. So it just edged out the GPP winning lineup by 2 points. And that was a 10.98, 766. Yeah, or 3 points, I guess. Then last year, your GPP winning lineup had Xander in it. It was 10, 9, and 4 sevens, leaving $100 on the table, scored 786.5. Your optimal scored 886, so 100 more points. That, well, yeah, pretty much. 99.5 more points. The optimal left $900 on the table. That was a 10.98, 766. So I think the most common thing to state is that you saw a lot of 10K golfers in all of the lineups. You saw a lot of 9K golfers in all of the lineups and multiple sixes. Just one last one to look at, and that's your SweetSpot optimal for 2024. That used up all 50,000 of the salary. It scored 868 points. 10.98, or no, sorry, 10.99, 766. Low 7 or low 6 and a kind of a mid 6. That was 868 points. 868 beats 786, and it's like 14 points below the optimal. So now we can kind of do a zoomed out look and look at just GPP winning lineups for all years at the American Express. And you're going to see, like, this is where the summary box really shines up here. This top right above me, the one that I'm kind of hovering over, that's the summary box. And this is going to give you the best, like, zoomed out look as to which salaries matter at this golf course. I'm not sure why it says 2. Oh, top 10 golfers. That's right. These three numbers here are for your top 10. How many top 10 golfers are for each of those salaries? But interesting. You can have optimal lineups without having 9K golfers in them, or 9K golfers in the DK top 10. I suppose that's true. Would it though? That can't be right. Oh, I don't have DraftKings points for it. That's why. Okay, so it kind of is misleading to some extent. Either way, we have a 75% frequency rate of having a 10K golfer in our GPP winning lineups. So obviously not all 10K golfers that qualify for top 10 DK points were in the GPP winning lineup. That just means there's more 10K golfers than you could actually roster. Optimal lineup golfers, I feel like I'm going to have to retool this somehow, because this shouldn't. I understand what's happening. I need to change the totals here because it's just looking at optimal lineups. So these are filters. If you didn't know this, these are all filters. So if we're just looking at optimal lineup golfers, it would be 100% for everything. It would just automatically be 100% for everything. The zoomed out level, I guess, where it really shines is just selecting the year and seeing what the top 10 percentage is for, there were 4 10K golfers in 2024. One of them finished inside the top 10. So we're kind of looking at this frequency number over here. 100% means every, or at least one golfer from that salary finished inside the top 10. And when we totally zoom out like this is telling us that every salary except for the low 6K has had at least one golfer every single year inside the top 10. That's what this frequency number over here means. Look at this success rate. Top 10 percentage, 35%. There was a total of 17 10K golfers dating back to 2019. 6 of them, 6 out of 17 finished inside the top 10. 6 of them were in the optimal lineup. 7 were in the GPP winning lineup. Out of 17. Those are good numbers. Here's the caveat. If I just select 10, this is what you can do too. You just go right in here and you drill into this cell. And we scroll down. I think on average, what you're going to see are multiple 10K golfers. So in 2024, for instance, you have 4 golfers, Cantlay, Scheffler, Im, and Schauffele in your 10K range. In 2023, we have 5 10K golfers. Here, I got a better way to do this. 2023, there's your 5. 2022, you had 4. 2021, you had 4. 2020, you had 6. 2019, you had 5. And 2018, you had 5. You have like on average 4 to 5 10K golfers. This week, I'll go to this sheet since I have it open. We have 2. You have to keep that in mind when looking at pass optimal and GPP winning lineups. We have to look at what the volume looked like from previous years versus what it looks like this year for like how many golfers are in those buckets. We only have 2. Now, I kind of have a sneaky suspicion that JT or Sungjae are going to finish inside the top 10. I just sneaky suspicion. So that's kind of your deep dive when it comes to pass optimal and GPP winning lineups. Now, the thing that I was talking to you about, I want you to take a look at this. I love this stuff gets me excited. And then I've been spending a lot of time building tools. So what I have on the screen right now is my personal Power BI. And if I zoom in and we can bring some of these filters away, basically what I'm working on is showing you guys what it would look like for salary strings, basically. These are filters right here. I haven't figured out what filters I want to include other than the tournament and the years that you can select. But I do have the American Express built in here. And if I actually move this down here and we use this right now, this shows you like your GPP winning lineups. What was the salary build? In 2024, it was 10-9, 4 7s. In 2023, it was 10-8-8, 7-7-6. In 2022, it was 10-8, 7-7, 7-6. 2021, 10-9-8, 8-7-7. 2020, 10-9-8, 7-7-6. And this is the thing. You can actually use that pass optimal lineup to validate that this information is correct. So if I go back here, we're taking a look at the GPP winning lineup of 2024 per se, 49-9, 10-9, and 4 7s. We go back to the pass optimal lineups, go here, go to GPP winning lineup, and sort by salary, 10-9, and 4 7s. So this will be available to you soon. And just the beauty of this, again, you can hit the little eraser mark here. And if we were to look at all GPP winning lineups, you can see the percentages over here, how often those salary builds are your GPP winning lineup. So you know how I used to talk to you guys and say, hey, you want to start 10-9-8, 7-7-6 because X amount of lineups for GPP winners, optimal lineups, sweet spot optimals, follow that salary build. This is me giving you the proof. Sweet spot optimal, 21%. Remember, sweet spot optimals beat GPP winning lineups unless they tie. 49,600 and above, unless there's not a lineup you can build 49.6 and above to beat a GPP winning lineup. Almost 22%. And then if you look underneath it, you're okay. This is literally the spiel that I would give you guys. Always start with a 10-9-8, 7-7-6 because that made up 25% of lineups. I bet you it was 25 when I said it. And then I was like, it's like 10% if you go 1098-766, and it's like 10% if you go 1098-777. I don't have the 10% of 1098-777, but there you go. 1098-776, 1098-766. Then it's 1088-776, 10-9, 3 sevens and a 6, 10-9, 8 and 3 sevens, and then it drops down into the 9, 9s, 8, 7, 6, that kind of stuff. But you can see what rules them all is the 10-9-8-7-7-6, 10-9-8-7-7-6. Even your optimal lineup, your best lineup, dude, your best lineup, the optimal lineup, 10-9-8-7-7-6, followed by 10-9, 3 sevens and a 6, followed by 10-9-8-7-6-6. I mean, that's the percentages aren't super great for those combinations. You know, it's like 13, 18. Let's round up and just say that's 24%. Probably 24%. For those three, 10-9-8. All right, okay, we just look at these three where it starts with a 10. Oh, no, not always 10-9-8, but 10-9, 6 is involved, and so too is a 7. Maybe that's the way to say it. 10-9, 7, and a 6. So yeah, I'm super excited to create this tool and provide it for you guys on the website. All right. Let me catch up with chat. Yes, I know. No one had to crush with Nick Taylor. Call. Congrats. Yeah. Had JJ Spawn as well, Joanne says. Oh, you got a free month on Byron's Discord. Perfect. Cantley set course record at Stadium Course on Sunday in 2021. Okay, good to know. Good to know. And we said hi to Cody Gamble. Right now, AJ has a 10K, an 8K, and 4 sevens in his dummy lineup. Sounds good. Joanne says way too much value in the 9K range this week. We'll definitely get to the 9K range. Sent you an email with an Excel spreadsheet I have. Question I will explain later. It's in your SweetSpot email. Okay. Can you use that for a tournament? Cody, are you talking about this tool right now that I'm looking at? The historic salary builds is what I've named it so far. I've named it like 5. I've named it 5 different times. I don't know exactly what to call it. Oh, by the way, for all you guys still listening and watching, what would you like to see added to this page? Like, I don't know how well you guys can see it, but what would you like to see when it comes to stats? I can add anything into here. I basically just put the salary, like these 3 columns here are always going to just stay here. Salary build, records, and total. But I can include something else. And then same applies down here. Obviously, I want to show you the tournament name. I want to show you the year. I want you to see what lineup it is, how much money was used, and what the salary build was. But I was thinking about, you know, adding certain cards that show you how many 10K golfers are. Here's one thing. I'm gonna basically copy and paste 5 more of these player ones, and it's gonna let you select whatever salary you want to start your lineups with. So if you want to skip a 10K range, you want to see how many instances that a lineup started with a 9K. You could do that and it would filter out this stuff right here. And then you could also look up here to see what percentage that entails. And remember, you're filtering out 10Ks. So now we filter out the 10Ks, and your most popular 9K build is a 9, 3 8s, and 2 7s. And if you want to keep track, it would be 8 records. And if I clear out this, just deselect it, it'd be 8 records out of 258. So that would be your true percentage of how many 9K that, or whatever that lineup was, or that lineup structure was, winning a GPP. So anyways, food for thought. You guys can let me know now. You can send me an email. You can send me a DM on Twitter, however you want. But yeah, this tool is going to be fun. I've been using this a lot. Not so much a lot, but today I've been using it just to kind of get my bearings straight as to what I want to talk about and what salaries matter. You know, look at how much 2019 you left $900 on the table to win the GPP. Otherwise, you didn't leave more than $300 on the table for the GPP. The Sweet Spot Optimal, again, this is a lineup that beats the GPP winning lineup. It's the closest salary I can build to 50,000 that takes down a GPP. So you got 50, 49.7, 49.2 in 2022, 49.6, 49.9, 49.6, 50,000. There was a fun tweet that Chad Eckert had. And by the way, he still is podcasting. So, and it's very entertaining. I recommend go watch it. He does it Wednesday nights. He does the wheel spin, and then he just talks about things that he's heard all over the place. Where was I getting with that? Oh, he sent out a tweet, and somebody replied underneath his tweet going, "You care too much about spending 49,600 and above." He said that to Chad, not to me. And then he says, that's what really truly handicaps you in lineup building. Chad never said that in any of his videos. He didn't even say it in his tweets. I thought it was very peculiar that this guy said it. It's something I advocate for, right? I say that because I've got the data that proves it. Like, that's what you want to do. You don't have to leave a lot of money on the table at all. 2022 is the only outlier for the Sweet Spot Optimal. And then the GPP winning lineup, the other outlier is 2019. You can leave a lot of money on the table, but if you just take the percentages, you have 6 years, only one of the years for each of those lineups. Did you spend less than 49.6? So 2 out of 12. 2 out of 12 lineups. Anyways, Cody says yes. Yeah, I can use this for tournaments. I'm actually going, this will be part of this segment. I'm planning on this being a part of the segment for the next, for the whole year. But I'm hoping to get it solidified for next week. And I'm trying to get it done hopefully before the end of this week, so you guys can mess around with it over the weekend. But again, this is going to require you to have at least a free account on SweetSpotDFS.com. I have not yet published this to SweetSpotDFS.com. I will once I get it built, once I have confirmed how I want it to look and stuff like that. It will be available to all of you who either have a free account or a paying account. So, yeah. Really excited about that tool. I'm excited building these tools for you guys because it's a lot of fun. Okay. Let's review the Sony Open. I'm not going to spend too much time. I'm already really deep into this. 53 minutes, and we've only covered 2 segments. So let's start here with the Sony Open, and we are just going to look at, oh, you know what? I forgot to update something. Let's do that real time so you guys can see how this looks. So it's not me just blowing smoke. Oh no, I didn't build a Sweet Spot Optimal for this. Shoot. Here, I guess let's manually do it, I suppose. Forgot. Like I created a Sweet Spot Optimal for the website, but to actually follow the rules, I think we're gonna have to use this. And let's go by points. And I know we want Russell Henley. Like Russell Henley's gonna have to be picked because he was in the best group. So this will be. Remember, we gotta find golfers that are in the Marquee Tee Times. So let's do that. And then probably Patrick Fishburne. He was in group 3. Do that. Again, this isn't following the buckets. I apologize. I totally forgot about this. Oh, I actually have 2 other guys up here. Let's go yes and yes. So we'll do 4. Again, I don't know if this is actually following what we need it to follow. It looks okay so far. 2 last year ones, which is pretty much what we want. What did we have for a summary? We'll have to follow this also. 1 to 3 last week ones. Okay, so I need to find at least one last week one. Everything else I have set. Perfect. So we need a last week one. Harry Hall's going to be our guy. And what do we have for salaries? So 81, 72, 99, 73, 71. Oh God, we can spend 10,000. Can't do Hideki, can we? No, he also played with Russell Henley. Egan? It's 49.1. That's not enough. We got to spend over 49.6. We might replace Henley with Hideki. Probably what we're going to have to do. And then we can have... Nope, we can't have... Oh my God. I don't know if I can actually build a quality lineup. I guess it's not going to be Harry Hall. Well, we can do Keegan Bradley. He's a last week one. Okay. That's 4,100 flat. I need at least... Is it Taylor Pendrith down here? Let's see what this looks like. That's 2 9s, an 8, and 3 7s. Yeah, let's see what this looks like. What do I score? It's got to beat the GPP winning lineup. 629.5. I don't think it did. I think the GPP winning lineup scored 655, if I remember correctly. 655.5. Huh. See, I use the optimizer to figure out what the sweet spot optimal is. I don't ever hand tool it like this. So, you know what? Maybe it's not Patrick Fishburne that we want to play. Although he's only scored 10 more points than Eric Cole. Yeah, I don't think I can. You know what? I'm not even going to try. I can do the optimal lineup stuff. So let's just do that. I don't want to waste your guys' time anymore. I don't know. I'll have to rebuild the optimizer to figure it out. But I want to. I want to figure it out. So I'm just going to copy this over. Although it's not true. When we look just at optimal lineups, yeah, there you go. All the buckets were successful. That's what this, I don't know if you saw that, how it looked before. I mean, rewind the tape, but all of this was empty. So basically what the formula in this column is looking at are the projections I have here, which for this, it's 1 to 3, round down with this projection, round up with this projection. How many golfers were in the optimal lineup? There were 3. Or actually, really, how many golfers were in the top 10? 5. So that fits outside of that range, but the 3 fits inside of it. So it's a success. And that goes down all the buckets. There were 30 total buckets. There were only 5 stat categories with 6 buckets in them. So that was a success. Again, unfortunately, I don't have the Sweet Spot Optimal. Forgot to do it. The one thing I forgot to do. But if I go and group rank these, because we're going to look at the Marquee Tee Times now. This is all part of the Sweet Spot process that I'm about to talk about. So that's why I'm bringing it up. I highlighted one too many. But it's every 3 golfers that make up of the Marquee Tee Times. It's your top 9 groups in a tournament. Your top 9 based off the Sweet Spot ranks. And what you see, 1, Russell Henley and Hideki Matsuyama played together. That's a no-no with the Sweet Spot process. Your optimal lineup, though, had Nicholas Echeverria in it, and it had Nick Taylor. And what I tell you every single week is you want to find 2 to 4 golfers, 2 to 4, to build your lineups around from the Marquee Tee Times, and you don't want to pair them up together. Obviously, the GPP winning lineup had Henley and Matsuyama. Maybe you needed to put those guys together in order to take down the GPP and spend enough salary to make sense, but I don't know. Again, I'll have to look into it. Either way, 2 out of 4 from the Marquee Tee Times were in the optimal lineup. And then when I scroll down just a little bit more, we can look at all the other optimal lineup golfers. JJ Spawn, which obviously Joanne said she was on. And then we get down to Jaeger and Schenk. They played together and they were in the optimal lineup together. So unfortunately, if you were to go past the Marquee Tee Times, you did find golfers that were playing together. And I will also create a tool for this on SweetSpotDFS.com to see how many times a golfer, or like golfers, are paired up together to win optimal lineups as well as GPP winning lineups. So the buckets were 100% successful. The Marquee Tee Times were 100% successful. But there was one group, or I should say 2 groups. One group had 2 golfers from the same group that won a GPP, and then the other group had 2 guys in it that made up the optimal lineup. Either way, you still could have won a GPP had you followed the Sweet Spot process. So, Eric Carnivore, what's going on, man? That was the end of the review, by the way. End of the review. Good call on Nick Taylor last week, Joanne. Yes, I agree. I think I got 10,98776. There we go. You got your 10,98776. Yeah. Let's see what the Marquee Tee Times look like. Sorry, I'm so excited. It's good. That's awesome. Yeah, that was a bit lengthy. And it was because I was not prepared. I did not have the Sweet Spot Optimal ready to go. Anyways, let's get into the bucket system for the American Express. You can follow along with me on the cheat sheet. Just go into the bucket system. So this is the dream sheet that I have. I'm currently in the cheat sheet. Go to the bucket system down here. You can put all of the same filters I'm about to put into mine. What I like to start out with, we go ahead and put a filter on this. I want to find greater than or equal to 2 for this column. It says maximum projection. So greater than or equal to 2. And basically what this is going to give us are buckets that are 1 to 3. It's essentially what it's doing. So it's telling us we want at least 1 golfer from these buckets. And what's unfortunate, this is really unfortunate. I don't have any low volume buckets. I have 1, strokes gained 2. I guess I have 2, course history 2. Oh my goodness. Here, we're not going to talk about any of these golfers here, but let me explain to you what these buckets are. This bucket probably is not an anchor bucket. I have another maximum projection over here. This is what I call kind of the conservative maximum projection. It's straight at 2. That's pretty darn close. Okay, it is under 2. It's 1.9993. So technically, the minimum is 0. The max is 3 for this. And this bucket here, last year 5s are golfers who missed the cut at this event or withdrew. One of the two. Has a 100% frequency rate, meaning it's happened at least once every year. Same goes with optimal lineups. It happens at least once every year. You have the same amount of golfers in that bucket that you see typically on average. So I guess let's take a look. I just want to show you guys how to do this. So put a filter on the dream sheet, go into last year, clear everything out, and go down to 5. Last year 5s. These are your golfers. Tom Kim is at the top of the salary leaderboard for these buckets. And in fact, you only have 4 golfers 8K and above. One is Nick Taylor, one is Patrick Fishburne, Harry Hall, and Tom Kim. So if you're on any 4 of those golfers, I have a pretty decent feeling they're going to do okay. Now, this bucket has 50 some golfers in it. No, I'm sorry, 39 golfers in it. So there are a lot of golfers that make up this projection. But 7K range starts with, or the lowest price is Rico Hoey, and the most expensive price is Cam Davis. You've got 9 golfers in this range, including Andrew Novak, Ricky Fowler, Johnny Vegas, Billy Horschel at 7,300. What a fall from grace for Billy Horschel. Doug Gim, I think, is a really good fit for this golf course. This projection here is a 0 to 3. So you don't want to play more than 3 golfers from this bucket. And you've got a lot of good choices. Lots of good choices. I have no issue playing Tom Kim or Harry Hall. I wouldn't even care if you wanted to go back to Patrick Fishburne. I think Johnny Vegas is a really good play this week. He's 17th in my model. And then if you wanted to go with some of the younger guys like Mac Meisner, go for it. I suppose he's probably the only true young person. No. Oh, I don't have his age. So, yeah, I mean, it's really up to you. So that's how you would look at this bucket. Remember, the projection is 0 to 3. So we're going to skip over that one. We're also going to skip over this one that has 66 golfers in it, golfers who did not play at this event last year. We're also going to skip over this one. This is the last week 5, so golfers who missed the cut at the Sony Open, the projection of that is 0 to 3. Last week 6s are golfers who did not play at the Sony Open. We have 1 to 4. So that is a bucket that's kind of interesting. There are 15 less golfers in that bucket than what we normally see, just so you know. And if we go ahead and make sure there are no filters, active filters, go to last year or last week, the last week column, scroll down to the 5s, last week 5s, golfers who missed the cut last week. 1 to 4 is the projection to finish inside the top 10. Here are your golfers: Siwoo Kim, Davis Thompson, JT Poston, Cam Davis, Danny Berger, Andrew Novak shows up again, Billy Horschel shows up again. Actually, Cam Davis shows up again. Patrick Rogers, Kim, Hughes. There are a lot of people in the DFS industry that are on Mac Hughes. I heard some love for Patrick Rogers. I got no issue going back to Daniel Berger this week, just so you guys know. I think Danny Berger, if you remember, this was like one of the first tournaments he came back from his long, break from golf because of his injury. And he came and he actually played one really good round at the stadium course. I think it was a Saturday round. Maybe it was a Friday round. I think he made the cut. Last year he finished somewhere between 20th and 40th place. He made the cut. He looked really good, but then he got gassed on the last one of the rounds of golf. I don't remember what it is, but I don't mind going to a Danny Berger. And the rest of them, I don't know. Don't really care. I'm not going to talk about every golfer in this bucket, but you guys can go and research this on your own. There's a cheat sheet available to you. Go to SweetSpotDFS.com. Go find it there. You can find a link for the Google sheet, and then you can put these filters on them yourself. I guess 1 or 2 buckets to really talk about are course history 2s and course history 3s. So that course history 2 bucket makes up of golfers who have an average finishing position at this event somewhere between the 20th place and 40th place positions. 20th to 40th, somewhere in there. That's what makes up this, or golfers in this bucket. So again, I'm going to clear everything, or actually select everybody, go into the course history 2s. This is a bucket we want 1 to 3 from. Justin Thomas is in this bucket. Sammy Burns is in this bucket. Patrick Cantlay, Finau. So you already have 4 heavy hitters right at the top of this bucket. And the projection I have, like I said, 1 to 3. 1 to 3 is what I project to finish inside the top 10. Somewhere between 1 to 3. So if you are on Burns like Mr. Shalik Harden, this is a good time to play Sam Burns. You want to go back to Patrick Cantlay. I think this is the one event that just suits him. Like I was saying earlier in the course and tournament information, it's like golfers who get to talk business with their pro-am partners. They thrive in this because it's a business meeting out on the golf course. It's not so much a tournament for these guys, although it is, obviously it is. But there's an added bonus. Like I get to talk shop with my pro-am partner. So I don't mind that with Patrick Cantlay. I kind of like that with Justin Thomas, to be quite honest with you. now that he's getting he's getting a little older, he's maturing. I feel like this is the type of event that suits him. Becoming more of an investor. Again, talking business with these Pro-Am partners is, I think, beneficial to the older crowd, but don't get it wrong. We've seen a lot of success here from the younger crowd, like say Nick Dunlap, who won this tournament last year as an amateur. So I definitely want to mix youth with age, and I definitely want to mix. I mean, I want any of my older guys, I want them to be the caliber of golfers at the top of this list. The rest of them, though, don't sleep on them. I'm a huge fan of Will Zalatoris this week. You know, as long as the back injury is behind him and he's been able to rehab that and it's not affecting him that much anymore, this is a perfect golf course for him as well, or a perfect event for him. Not so much for his back. It's not a good thing to be on your feet for 6 hours straight, for your back, that is. But this is a course I think he eats up. I have a good feeling about him. Don't mind Cam Young, but I don't know, man. $9,000 is pretty expensive. I will play some Cam Young, but I'm not thrilled about it. We get Keith Mitchell back. Okay finish last week. I think this is an okay turn. Again, a business dude. He's a business dude. He gets to work with his Pro-Am partners. This is right up his alley. And again, I'm not going to talk about everybody. A notable person down here would be Matt Kuchar. I also really like Putnam. Taylor Montgomery, he had a chance to win this tournament. What, 3 years ago? 2 years ago? Whatever it was. Don't sleep on Taylor Montgomery. I don't like his golf swing still, but at $6,400, it's a dart throw. And I think it's a better dart throw than most. Yeah, there's that bucket. And then course history threes, we want somewhere between 1 to 4. So I'm just putting that filter in here for course history threes. You get Wyndham Clark, Tom Kim, we've already talked about. Harry Hall, I've heard some love for Brian Harmon this week. I don't have an issue with that. Nick Taylor after his victory at the Sony, don't have an issue with that. I like Hoagie, especially at $7,800 for this event. We talked about Cam Davis before. Danny Berger is in this bucket. The winner of the tournament that should have been last week, Mark Hubbard. That's not real. It's a joke because I said that I drove by a Hubbard Street and it gave me a sign like, oh, Mark Hubbard's going to win the tournament. He obviously didn't because those signs don't matter. So yeah, don't have an issue there. And again, I'm not going to talk about everybody, but there's some notable names in this bucket as well. 1 to 4 from this one. And of course, like I said, I say every week, the optimizer's already built in these conditionals, these bucket projections. They're already built in here. So the optimizer is going to do it for me. We just talked about course history 2s and 3s. I'm not going to talk about 7K golfers. We obviously already found out from the past optimal and GPP winning lineups, 7Ks are going to matter this week. So that's obviously something to keep in mind. Then strokes gained 2 and 3. You know what? We can talk about them. They're not really huge buckets. I'm not ever keen on using these buckets as golfers to pull from, but let me just show you guys. The easiest way to do this, by the way, is just sort this. Don't filter it. Sort it A to Z from strokes gained. And then we have your 7. Ooh, I miscolored this. How in the hell did that happen? You have 7 strokes gained 1 golfers. So crazy. I wonder how that happened. Doesn't matter. Easy fix. So 7 strokes gained 1 golfers, and then we have 24 strokes gained 2 golfers. The top of the salary leaderboard for that bucket, Wyndham Clark, Max Grazerman, Patrick Fishburne, Jason Day, JT Post, and Adam Hadwin. Adam Hadwin is a desert rat, as we call it in the golf industry. Guy does really well on desert golf courses. So I don't mind him at 7,700. Like the 7K range is pretty juicy. Just by eyeballing it, going through all the buckets. I honestly don't mind any of these golfers. Probably going to stay away from Jeremy Paul. Don't even know who he is. Kevin Velo, Mason Anderson. These are golfers I don't care to play. The rest of them are all in play. Oh, Hosler, we haven't seen him since last season, technically, last year. I don't mind Bo Hosler at this golf course. This is one of those golf courses that I think he does well at. So, yeah. Strokes gained 2, and then strokes gained 3 is a big bucket. Starts with Justin Thomas and Tony Finau, as well as Tom Kim. All good golfers. You include Siwoo and Cam Young into that bucket. Vegas, Berger, already talked about those guys. Mitchell, Zalatoris. Yeah, easy bucket to pick golfers from. Again, I'm going to let the optimizer do all the work for me. I'm not going to single-handedly pluck out golfers from the buckets like I used to do back in the day. I'm just going to let the optimizer do it. So that is the end of the bucket system segment. I'm going to look at chat. Oh, geez, lots of people. Okay, let me look. See here, okay. AJ goes, I remember the days when you would say, oh man, I wish I had a transition there. Good to see things are flowing. I agree, man. Hey, I've known how I've wanted this to work out for the longest period of time. I knew what I would want in my website. I know what I want in these streams. We're slowly progressing, and we're getting to the spots that I'm comfortable with. Pretty soon, I'm just going to be marketing the hell out of my stuff. I haven't, because I never felt like it was worthwhile to market. But I feel really good about my stuff. Hey, Eric and Shot Like Harden, that was AJ. That you're talking about Carnivore and Shot Like. Colonoscopy for AJ. Damn, dude. Still drugged up. Eric Carnivore goes, Billy Ho should bounce back. We'll see. Shot Like Harden, did you see ZJ last week start out hot? Yeah, I'm playing him this week actually in a couple. Good course history here. You know, this actually is not a bad golf course for old gentlemen like ZJ. I think he's, what is Zach Johnson, 48 years old. I know I saw him start out hot, like you guys were mentioning, but I'm like, he's old. He's going to fizzle. And he fizzled. Let's see, looking at the chat, Willie Z is due. I agree. All in baby lock burns. Oh, all in baby lock burns. Yeah, I know how you operate. Berger likes this course. He's too good to keep down. I don't disagree. I play Tom Hoagie every tournament he is in. All right, that catches me up with chat. Last segment before we start building lineups, we're going to go into the Marquee Tee Times. If you are following along on the cheat sheets, if you didn't even know the cheat sheet existed, you can follow along. Go to SweetSpotDFS.com, find the cheat sheet in the fantasy tools. You will come out to a page like this. I have filters on this page. You can go ahead and filter these just as easy as I'm going to filter mine. And what we're filtering is under this group rank. For the cheat sheet, that would be column O. My sheet is a little bit different than your guys' sheet. So we go A to Z. And I also have this color coordinated just to make it easy on all of us. And it's by every 2 golfers. Now, I went back and I looked. I was actually watching a video from last year. Hey, by the way, Shot Like Harden, happy 1-year anniversary of being a member at SweetSpotDFS on YouTube. I think you're a 1-year member, right? Your badge doesn't look like it should be a 1-year member. I thought I gave out the gold badge at a year, at 12 months. Maybe it's at 2 months or 2 years. I don't know. Anyways, we can actually go back and take a look in 2024. I'm going to go ahead and put a filter on this. And you can see, even here in 2024, this is ranked by your groups. Every 2 golfers, you can see that because of the numbers over here. Every 2 golfers, here are your Marquee Tee Times. Group 1 was Scotty and Patrick. They were not in the Marquee Tee Time or in the optimal lineup. Xander Schauffele, however, in Group 2 was. So too was JT. And then you can see Adam Hadwin in Group 10 just down here. He was close. So the Marquee Tee Times were correct in 2023. In 2022, you can see all the group rankings right here. We had 2 golfers in the optimal lineup. And we had 4 golfers in the Sweet Spot Optimal, and they weren't playing together because that's what makes up the Sweet Spot Optimal. There's Group 4, Group 5, Group 9, and Group 8. That's all these little green numbers here. Those are your Sweet Spot Optimals. And I'm sorry, there were 3 optimal lineup golfers in the Marquee Tee Times. And just to note, yet again, they weren't playing together. None of them were playing together, okay? None of them were playing together. 2022. I don't have it as easy. We'll have to scroll through this. This is just by game number. I didn't rank the groups then. But let's find our Marquee Tee Times, or let's find our optimal lineup golfers and see if they have any corresponding green colors next to their name. I did things just a little bit different this year. Lonto was a Marquee Tee Time, it looks like, with Corey Connors. Hudson Swafford was not. Just one optimal lineup guy? Is that all I'm seeing? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Yeah, but I can't, I can't even be honest with you. I have no idea what I was doing in 2022 when it comes to the Marquee Tee Times. I obviously don't have it marked as Marquee Tee Times. I imagine if I just go by the green color, this is going to tell me what my Marquee Tee Times were. You had 3 golfers that were in the GPP winning lineup from the Marquee Tee Times, but only 1 in the optimal lineup. And it looks like 3 of these guys were in the Sweet Spot Optimal. So, and there's obviously more than 9 groups here. What are there? 12 groups. Yeah, so I don't know what the heck I was doing in 2022. I wish I could tell you, but I don't know. Okay, so let's look at this year's Marquee Tee Times. Your number 1 group, or the top ranked group, is Justin Thomas and Jason Day. That's group 1. Group 2 is Sam Burns and Nick Dunlap. Group 3 is Tony Finau and Will Zalatoris. That makes things really interesting because I like Will Zalatoris this week. He's 8,400. I also am not afraid to play Tony Finau despite having an injury that he's been nursing for a while. I don't mind playing Tony Finau. Cam Young and Tom Hoge. Well, this is going to be easy for a shot like Harden. He's just going to play Hogan and he's going to skip Cam Young, which is probably the correct play regardless. Then we have Patrick Cantlay and Billy Horschel, Sung J M, Mac Hughes, Siwoo Kim, Kurt Kitayama, Wyndham Clark, and Ricky Fowler. Can any of you guys tell me, are they on the Bay Club together? Is this a TGL group? Clark and Fowler? Anyways, you got Lucas Glover and EVR as your last group. So, all of you fine people, here's roll call number 1. I'm about 24 minutes late. Roll call number 1. Find me 2 to 4 golfers. Give me 2 to 4 golfers from the Marquee Tee Times to build lineups around. That is roll call number 1. I'm going to build lineups for you guys. It's going to be 3 minutes per lineup. But if you want an entry into the giveaway, I'll keep this up. Actually, I'll zoom in even better, even more. 2 to 4 golfers to anchor your lineups around from the Marquee Tee Times right up here. Give me 2 to 4. And I'm gonna blow my nose. I'm gonna turn some music on. Let's find a good playlist. One I was just listening to earlier today was pretty good. Let's do this one.
When I'm on vacation, I want less.
John Bizzle, what's going on, man? Nice to see you. Right, we are back. Nice to see you as well, John. Thank you, thank you. I got a pretty cool tool out there. I'll showcase that here pretty soon. I should say out there. I have a pretty cool tool in the works that I already showed during the Pass Optimal and GPP winning lineup segment, but I'll show it again. All right. I'm going to put a timer on, but this has nothing to do with building lineups. I'm just going to give you guys 30 more seconds. When that hits 2 minutes and 30, I am going to pull up the giveaway sheet, put all your guys' names down, and then we're going to start building lineups. Ooh, Philip. Going with a 4-banger. Okay. You got the 2 Ks and the 2 Hs. Kitayama Kim, Hadwin Hall. Oh, we're already past 2:30. I was looking at something on Twitter that I was like, wow, that's pretty good. 2K25 for PGA Tour. I saw Drew Matthews post about this is a video game. That it looks amazing. If that causes problem, we can drop Hadwin. All right, yeah, we'll see. Alrighty. By the way, I already have all of your Sony Open entries over in the monthly giveaway, so don't be scared when I delete all of this. All right, so we have Joanne. AJ Love. John. Shotleg. And Philip Hall. I have 4 golfers that are not in the Marquee Tee Times. When you are done building, could I see what golfers? Yeah, absolutely. Then we have Lombardi Lee. All right. Let's get to building. And again, if you want access to the optimizer I'm about to show you, go to SweetSpotDFS.com, request the optimizer under optimizer. Just go click on the optimizer tab under fantasy tools, and everything else should be pretty self-explanatory. What you see on the screen at the very top is your most optimal lineup. Finau, Clark, Brian Harmon, Jay Day, Vegas, and Keith Mitchell. Actually, that's a lie. That's your second most optimal. Your first optimal lineup is this one. JT, Finau, Hoagie, Straka, Vegas, and EVR. Actually, I like that lineup a lot. Pretty good lineup. Actually, one last thing. I need a little bit of prep work here. I'm actually going to move this, just this, all the way over here. And make these all 100%. We are not falling in love with the 6K golfer this week. We are opening ourselves up to all 6K golfers. They deserve our love. All right, we are good. So that very first lineup is Joanne with Putnam and Adam Hadwin. I think that's pretty good. Hadwin's down here, and Andrew Putnam's what, 7,200? Yep, 72. Neither one of them are in the Marquee Tee Time, and that's okay. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Might have to give them a bit of a boost here so they don't kick out. But Joanne, you get 3 minutes of lineup building. Here we go. Now, if you don't like somebody, let me know. Just tell me to kick them out, and I will kick them out. We have Finau, Clark, Brian Harman, J-Day, Hadwin, and Putnam. Okay, so we got to get a boost to Putnam. Let's give him a 100-point boost. Run this again, and maybe we add a 100-point boost to Hadwin. We'll see. Nope, still to Putnam. Okay. We'll give him a 200-point boost. And while we're at it, let's look at Hadwin's. We'll give him a 100-point boost. I'll give you 30 seconds back, Joanne. Next lineup. Okay, this is the same lineup. I also am personally going to kick Jason Day out of lineups for you guys. If you want to keep Jason Day in them, you let me know and I will. But we are not playing more than we need to. All right, here's a good lineup, Joanne. We got JT, Finau, Hadwin, Straka, Vegas, and Putnam. 10-9, 4-7s. We've seen that as a GPP winning lineup for this event and also an optimal. So I think that's fine. We get 4-7s with this lineup. We get Thomas, Finau, Hoagie, Hadwin, Glover, Putnam. I'm not gonna knock any of these. Finau, Clark, Kitayama, Hadwin, Horschel, Putnam. Another good lineup. Finau, Clark, JJ, Spawn, which I don't have an issue playing with this week. Hadwin, Mitchell, and Putnam. I think that might be my favorite lineup so far. A pretty solid lineup. Wyndham Clark, Davis, Thompson, Kitayama, J-Day, Hadwin, and Putnam. Great lineup with that one too. I like Thompson this week. He hurt my feelings last week, but this week it's going to be good. This is a really good lineup, Joanne. Clark, Cam Young, Davis Thompson, Hadwin, Mitchell, and Putnam. That's got to be the most basic white boy lineup I've ever seen. And for this event, I'm here for it. Good lineup. Next one, Tom Kim. Small hands Tom Kim. Cam Young, Davis Thompson, J-Day, Hadwin, and Putnam. We're bringing back, I cannot believe Davis Thompson is rated less than Jason Day. Jason Day's getting the boot. We're kicking him out. That's what we just did to J-Day. Just beat him out. That's weird. Next lineup is finally we get a 10K golfer. Sung J M, Oni Finau, Tom Hoagie, Hadwin, Jesper Svensson, and Putnam. I love it. And we'll give you what, 2 more lineups, maybe 3. Give you an even 10. Oh, 1 more lineup would be it. Let's see what else we get here. Putnam and Harris English. Sure, I'll give you 1 more. I don't really care that much for that lineup, but it's okay. Small hands and Willie Z for you. Okay. Here we go. There we go. Finau, Clark, Thompson, Hadwin, Putnam, Mac Hughes. That's a really good lineup. We'll make this one red because it sizzles. Hot sizzle. Who remembers the N1 days? Sizzle. Professor. All right. That was Joanne. Let's get the next lineup up, which is AJ Love, who wants Thomas, JT, Siwoo Kim, and Hoagie. Okay. what was that? Siwoo Kim and Hoagie. Thomas of the Hosters. All right. So Hadwin, we got to give a little bit of a hurt to, and then same goes with Andrew Putnam. Those are good lineups, Joanne. I like them. All right. Feel like we just got to do this for good luck. There we go. See, there we go. Yep, Siwoo Kim. Okay. All right, so we'll put the timer up. And we are off. Actually, let me save that one more time, and then we'll hit. Lineups for AJ Love. AJ, if you see someone you don't like, you let me know. We get JT, Siwoo Kim, Hoagie, Straka, Vegas, and EVR. All right. That one's fine. Thomas, Siwoo Kim, Harmon, Hoagie, Vegas, and Victor Perez. All right. Seeing a 6K golfer finally. Then I think it's because we're starting 10 and 9. Bryce Garnett. Do not have an issue playing Bryce Garnett. 10, 9, 9, 7, 7, 6. Absolutely love that. That's a great lineup. JT Siwoo, Brian Harmon, Hoagie, Keith Mitchell, Harris English. Now that's a basic white guy lineup. And again, I'm here for it. I don't mean that in any shade whatsoever. It's just how boring does that lineup look outside of Siwoo Kim? It's got to be the most basic creative players with white skin. JT, Siwoo Kim, Brian Harmon, Hoagie, Vegas, and Chandler the Mustache Man Phillips. Okay. Hey, I'm not going to fall in love with a 6K golfer. That's fine. I don't mind seeing him, but I'm not trying to go to Chandler all that much. This is a good lineup too. Siwoo, JT, Harmon, Hoagie, Doug Gim, and EVR. Sign me up. I like Doug Gim this week. Thomas, Siwoo, Brian Harmon, JT Poston, Hoagie, Charlie Hoffman. Another one of those lineups. It's a good lineup. JT Siwoo, Brian Harmon, Hoagie, Vegas, and Matty Schmidt. Sign me up. I do like Matty Schmidt. Thomas. So we get JT with JT, Siwoo Kim, Hoagie, Vegas, Glover. I feel like we've seen that lineup before. It's a good lineup. Good lineup. JT, Siwoo, Brian Harmon, Hoagie, Vegas, Adam Schenk. Love it. Thomas, Siwoo, Tom Hoagie, Vegas, Mitchell, and Jesper Svensson. Yeah, sign me up, man. I got no issue with these guys. None. JT, Siwoo, Brian Harmon, Hoagie, Mitchell, Sam Stevens. Hey, Sam Stevens, you could do worse than Sam Stevens. JT, Tom Kim, Siwoo, Tom Hoagie, EVR, Brendan Todd. I was updating stats today. Saw Brendan Todd is the shortest hitter on tour for driving distance. 6'3", shortest driving distance. Terrible. Justin Thomas, Siwoo, Brian Harmon, Hoagie, Vegas, and Carson Young. Sign me up. I like that lineup a lot. That one's a good one. Yep, that one's a good one. One last one. Time's up. Thomas, Siwoo Kim, JJ Spawn, Hoagie, EVR, and Justin Lauer. That's also a really good lineup. Sweet. That one was good. Those were really good lineups. JT and Siwoo are a combination I do plan to play myself. So good to see lineups built with them. Alrighty. Going to the next. John Bizzle. Justin Thomas and Sam Burns. Your dummy lineup was Thomas, Siwoo, Harmon, Hoagie, Bez, and Schmid. So we just didn't get the Bez part right. I don't think the optimizer is going to pick up Bez, but Bez isn't a terrible play. You know, you want to find golfers who top 20 here last year, and he definitely is one of them. Jati and Sammy Burns. Love it. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and put that timer up. And here we go. First lineup. JT Burns, Hoagie Straka, Gim, EVR. Yeah, great lineup. Is this the same lineup? I must not have hit the run optimizer. JT Burns, Straka, Vegas, Horschel, EVR. Don't mind it. I kick EVR if I see him again. Yeah, we might have to pretty soon. Thomas Burns, Hoagie, Vegas, Svensson, EVR. One more and he's gone. We're talking about EVR. He gone. He gone. We're kicking him out. Too much EVR. If EVR is a golfer you like, then so be it. Then you play EVR, but we're not going to for this segment. This is a good lineup. Thomas Burns, Straka, Vegas, Mitchell, Sam Stevens. JT Burns, Hosler, Straka, Mitchell, Hughes. Sign me the hell up. That is a really good lineup. It's maybe one of your safest lineups you can build, but it's good. We love it. All right, JT Burns, Harmon, Hoagie, Vegas, and KH Lee. The Korean Cowboy, Shelly Carden. How are we feeling about the Korean Cowboy in this tournament? I got no issue with it. Could do worse. Probably could do better. Thomas Burns, Hadwin, Vegas, Hubbard, and Mac Hughes. Sign me the hell up. This 10-9 and 4-7s. I'm liking. This looks good. Looks real good. Burns, Thomas, Hadwin, Vegas, Hubbard, and Henrik Norlander. Yep. Sign me up for that one too. These are, yeah. Listen, I think it's going to be really difficult not to build a lineup with JT or Sung Jae having those 10K golfers in it. It just puts things together really nicely. We get JT Burns, Harmon, Vegas, Mitchell, Ben Silverman. Sign me up. We get Thomas Burns, Hadwin, Vegas, Hubbard, Svensson. That's also a really good lineup. No issues there. It's a really, really good lineup. Thomas Burns, Vegas, Mitchell, Hubbard, Rogers. Yeah, dude. These are all... the tail end of these lineups are really good. Thomas Burns, Hadwin, Vegas, Hubbard, and Grillo. No issues with Grillo. Last one. Thomas Burns, Straka, Vegas, Keith Mitchell, Taylor Moore. Yup. Sign me up. Those were all really good lineups. Cool. Now that's our guy, John Bizzle. Those were some good lineups, man. Now, obviously, we all know that means they're going to do really bad this week because they are favored. We like them too much. I think what I'm going to do is maybe just do 2% with 1%. I've thought about changing the exposures for these 6K golfers. You like someone, we'd probably change it to like 4%. But 4% with lineup building is almost like, technically you need 25 different lineups in order to get the next one to, or the next selection of that 6K golfer, which is really easy to do. All right. That's the one. Schmidt's my boy. My dummy lineup was, oh yeah. Guess my brain is starting to think like the optimizer. You're becoming a robot. Okay. Next one up. That was John Bizzle. We get Shot Like Harden. He is a Sam Burns super fan. He wants Burns and Cantlay. They're right next to each other with prices. 98 and 96. This shall be interesting. Timer is going up. Let's run some lineups. Burns, Cantlay, Fishburne. Ooh, you get the double burn. Hoagie, Straka, EVR. Wow. We could probably build a narrative lineup with the two Burns. Burns, Cantlay, Hoagie, Hadwin, Straka, EVR. It's a good lineup. Burns, Cantlay, J-Day, Hoagie, Straka, Gim. Yeah, one more J-Day and he's out. Already on a... Yep, there it is. Burns, Cantlay, J-Day, Straka, Vegas, Hubbard. J-Day, you're done. You're out of here. Burns, Cantlay, Hoagie, Osler, Straka, Keith Mitchell. 9947s. Sure. Got no issue with that. Burns, Cantlay, Harry Hall, Vegas, EVR, and Mac Hughes. $7,100 Mac Hughes is insane. Love so much Hoagie naturally. There we go. Burns, Cantlay, Ben Griffin, Hoagie, Vegas, Svensson. Okay. That's Jesper Svensson, not Adam Svensson. Burns, Cantlay, Echeverria, Tom Hoagie, Straka, EVR. I love that one. That one's a good one. Yeah, we didn't even tell it to put in Tom Hoagie, and we have so many Tom Hoagie lineups. Burns, Cantlay, Griffin, Hogan, not Hogan, Hoagie, Vegas, and English. Sure. Not the biggest fan of Harris English right now, but he can get it done. JT Poston and Glover get added to the Burns, Cantlay, Hoagie, Vegas mix. That's pretty good. Burns, Cantlay, Taylor, Nick Taylor, Tom Hoagie, Straka, EVR. Lots of Straka. You want me to kick Straka out? Ooh, that's a good lineup. That's a really good lineup. Burns, Cantlay, Davis Thompson, Hoagie, EVR, Henrik Norlander. That's a dangerous lineup. You know what I've been neglecting to do? I think it's because I'm building these lineups under 3 minutes. We gotta get some music in here. That lineup deserved that, or maybe one of these. Burns, Cantlay, Poston, Straka, Seabez. There we go. Our first Seabez spotting. I'll build you two more. Burns, Cantlay, Davis, Thompson, Straka, EVR, and Charlie the Seagull Hoffman. That's fine. It was whatever. This is a solid lineup. Burns, Cantlay, Spawn, Vegas, EVR, Justin Lauer. There we go. People still calling him Justin Lower. It's crazy. Insanity. All right. There we go. Those were 15 lineups for our guy. All right. So many notifications happening. All right, Mr. Shy Carden, those were good lineups, man. All right, who do we got next? We get Philip Hall. He's got H's and K's. K's and H's. After Philip Hall, we got Lombardi Lee, and then I think we have Eric Carnivore. Yep, Eric Carnivore. That's all that I have on deck. Feeling good about those. Yeah, those were some good lineups. Good lineup so far. Love it. All right, let's take this off, and we have Philip already. Okay, so he wants Kitayama. Kim, as in the Siwoo kind? Are we talking about Siwoo Kim? Philip Hall? Hadwin and Hall. Harry, you're a wizard. Sorry, couldn't help it. Let's see. We got 2, 3, 8, or 2 8s and a 7. Do we think he's going with Siwoo at 91? I bet you he has to. That would be too rich, I think, if he go 10s. Maybe not. Maybe not. We're gonna pretend it's Siwoo and not Tom Kim. Oh, Tom Kim. There we go. Okay. Oh, he's only 93. I thought he was 98. In my head, he was 98, and that's Sam Burns. All right. We've got our H's and K's. Hadwin, Hall, then it's Tom Kim and Kitayama. All right. Timer goes up right now. First lineup, we get Tom Kim, Harry Hall, Kitayama, J-Day, Hadwin, and Mitchell. Dude, I'm already annoyed of Jason Day. Got to give Hadwin a little bit of a boost so he doesn't get kicked out. Then we got to give Kurt Kitayama a boost so he doesn't get kicked out. And then Harry Hall so he doesn't get kicked out. I could probably just drop. What the hell does Keith Mitchell have? Seriously. I'll give you a minute back. 1041? That's crazy. Okay, we're good. We're actually good. We're good. Did we save that one? Oh, we did. Okay. Okay. No day is fine. Perfect. Tom Kim, Harry Hall, Kitayama, Jade. We said no J Day. Sorry, kind of puked in my mouth there. Kim, Hall, Kitayama, Hoagie, Hadwin, and Johnny Vegas. Okay, so we've got some balanced lineups that I don't mind. We're gonna say no to Davis Wright. Actually, you know what? Don't disrespect a 6K golfer who's won on tour twice. So we'll give him his due. But he sucks. He's been playing terrible as of late. Tom Kim, Harry Hall, Kitayama, Hoagie, Hadwin, and Hosler. There's a great conservative lineup. Very good. Rafael Campos. Sure. Add a little Finau love in there with your core 4. It's fine. Friends don't let friends. Draft Peter Malnati. Last week, Ryan Henson mentioned, maybe this is the week we play Peter Malnati, and I kind of was talking about this breakout percentage stat that I'm going to create in the future. Peter Malnati's at his breakout point right now. Basically, every 20 to 25 events that he plays, he finds a top 10 finish. So if this is the week, this is the week. And then if he does finish top 10, within 4 tournaments, he'll finish top 10 again. And then he'll go another 20-week span without top 10ing, just so you guys are aware. Hall, Kim, Kitayama, Poston, Hadwin, Fowler. Don't mind it. Not the sexiest of lineups. I'll give you like another 30 seconds to a minute of lineup builds. David Skins. Yeah, I don't know. Probably not. I'm not saving that one. Jake Knapp. Now, he withdrew last week due to a back issue. How much of that is true? I don't know. For the just to save this lineup, let's just do it. But I don't trust Jake Knapp this week. Bronson Burgoon. I haven't seen that name in forever. I used to play that guy a lot in DFS lineups. And I think Burgoon can be good, especially at this event. Sure, why not? We'll save it. We'll move on. I'll get you 2 more lineups. Palmer, we'll skip that one. Don't want to see Ryan Palmer. Don't want to see Aaron Baddeley. Don't care. Nor do I want to see Brad Snedeker. Kevin Yu, I don't mind this. Kim, Hall, Kitayama, Hoagie, Hadwin, Kevin Yu. Sure. Burgoon has great course history, yeah. Kevin Kisner, okay. Finau, Kim, Hall, Kitayama, Hadwin, Kisner. Does the TGL revitalize Mr. Kevin Kisner? We shall see. We shall see. Alrighty. Those were your lineups. Philip Hall. Thank you for putting them in. And then who do we have next? Philip Hall. Philip. Where are we? The heck, man? Did I lose all my... Okay, there we are. I found myself. We have Lombardi Lee. Hey, for those that are in chat right now, kind of want to bounce some ideas off of you after I build these lineups. Oh, I'd appreciate it if you stay in the chat. If you are about to leave at any point in time, will you let me know? Because the more opinions I can get on what I want to ask you, the better. So, stay with me. I'll actually do a roll call. I'll do a roll call after these lineups. So, you'll want to stick around just for that. EVR, Alex Smalley, and Andrew Putnam? Okay. Andrew Putnam. Lombardi Lee, why these names? It's not like it's not a huge like I'm not grilling you for anything. I just want to know why the unique names. Smalley, Putnam, and EVR, Smalley, Putnam. Okay. We'll put that timer on the list. Here we go. Oh, sure, Ryan. I will look at your email after this. Sungjae, Tom Kim, Spawn, Putnam, Smalley, and EVR. Sungjae, Kim, Spawn. Okay. You know what? Actually, I don't mind that. That's our first Sungjae lineup, I'm pretty sure, of the night. Sungjae, Tom Kim, JJ. Oh, wait. We gotta bump up Putnam. Here, let me take that off. Give me a second here. Did I also boost up someone from the last one? I don't remember. I boosted up a couple guys. I don't think I brought them back down. Did I? I think Hadwin was one. Hadwin. Who else? Kitayama? He was not. Was he 1100? That can't be right. Let me bring this off to the side. I apologize. So what am I looking? Harry Hall and Kitayama. Harry Hall and Kitayama is actually 10007. So I boosted him twice. Oh no, just once. Harry Hall has to go down. Everyone else looks good. Yep, everyone is over 1,000. That's correct. Might just be those dudes. Okay, I think we're good. Bring this over, but we still need to get Putnam and Smalley. We need to give them bonuses. So, not EVR. EVR does not need a bonus. Okay. All right. Here we go. Sungjae, Tom Kim, JJ Spawn, Putnam, Smalley. Oh, let me put the timer on. EVR. Sure, works for me. I figured they would be low owned, plus I can fit 3 high price golfers using those 3 guys. Okay, fair enough. It looks as if we break the optimizer. So I wonder why that is. What? It's your course history 2 bucket. I think we want a limited amount of golfers from that bucket. 1 to 3, and we're at 3. So there's no there is no, what's it called, flexibility up top. So just looking at these golfers that would fit would be Sungjae, Wyndham, Tom Kim, Grazerman, Davis Thompson, Harry Hall, Hideyama, these 2 guys. So let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 golfers that the optimizer can choose to fill in your salaries for your cheap 7K golfers. Because the optimizer is going to want to pick golfers up here. Like, I suppose I could build you a lineup that's like this if I left a lot of money on the table. If I move the minimum salary to 48,000, I bet you I can build you a lineup. Yeah, 48.2, leaving 1,800 on the table. So you can't put those 3 golfers together with high price golfers. Yeah, see how this works out? Because you can't put any of those course history 2 golfers together. Sorry for breaking the optimizer. No, it's good because here's the beauty. Okay, this is what I appreciate about my process. I was thinking about this earlier because, like, I've been given some kind of pushback and some kind of criticisms over the past about why I look at the things I look at. And the purpose of truly what I do is to prevent you and myself from playing bad plays. It does more for that than it does finding golfers to play. So like when we think of the buckets, this is what I'm talking about. I say you want to select 1 to 3. In your head that might be, oh, I have to select 1 to 3. But here's the true beauty of it. It's kind of also telling you more so you don't want to play 0 and you don't want to play 4 or more. So really, you're leaving 4 open slots, maybe 3 open slots of your lineup based off of what the bucket projections are supposed to be. And how often do we go through the bucket projections? Every single week? Like, I mean, we do it every single, I just answered my own question. We do it every single week. And I think we're batting 1,000 this year. I think we've been batting 1,000 for the last 6 months. Maybe one was wrong. But the projections are spot on. So it's just so basically, yes, we can create you lineups that either have to be really low priced or we remove that conditional for the bucket, which defeats the purpose of, you know, the sweet spot process. So, okay. I'm still gonna do some for Lombardi Lee. And Lombardi, it says Putnam and Smalley are sneaky as fuck this week. Both good course history too. I think I'm leaning on course history a lot this week. I actually don't mind it. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Putnam and Smalley. I mean, Smalley has a serial killer's laugh. You got to be careful with him. But let's not do EVR. Let's go ahead and do Putnam and Smalley. I have a ton of EVR lineups already. I got 27%. Actually, you know what? This is what we're gonna do. I've already figured it out. We do this with Byron when he comes in and he gives us some weird ass lineups. So we're going to do the same thing here. Where I have 3 AM golfers. We are going to make the optimizer choose 2 out of the 3. We're going to remove that. We're going to bring the salary back. And so now we're creating a player pool of 3 golfers between Putnam, Smalley, and EVR. And we're telling the optimizer to select 2 of them. So let's go ahead and put those timers back on. And we're going to build you some lineups the right way. We get Sung Jae, Clark, Harmon, Vegas, Putnam, Smalley. We bring in Seabez. Hadwin. Let's see. Okay. Just want to make sure EVR wasn't actually cut out. JT, Grazerman, Harmon, Hoagie, Putnam, and Alex Smalley. There's a good lineup. That one's different. Haven't seen that one in a while. Yeah, you're welcome, dude. Thomas. Okay, so we get a JT, Wyndham Clark, Tom, Hoagie, This is a really good lineup. Best one of these so far. We really, really like it. Shalik Harden, are you still in the chat? Yeah, you're still in the chat. Did you see my pass optimal in GPP winning lineup tool? Finau, Clark, Spawn, Hoagie, Putnam, Smalley. Love it. Not only that, but did you also see the new tool that I'm creating for lineup historic salary builds? Finau, Clark, Kitayama, Hoagie, Putnam, and Alex Smalley. Pretty good. Is 800 too much to leave on the table? We can do whatever you'd like. The sweet spot process it follows a strict set of rules. I can leave as much money on the table as you want. I mean, 49.2 is what I used to have, so we can go ahead and do that. Save that. But 49.2 isn't going to be able to put EVR in those lineups. It was sitting at like 48,000. Like we had to leave 2,000 on the table. Here we are leaving 700 on the table, though. We get Sungjae, Finau, Hoagie, Jesper Svensson, Putnam, and Smalley. Pretty solid. There's no EVR because EVR's point totals are just that much lower. Let's give him a 50-point boost. I'm gonna get everybody about the same price or the same. See if this will change. I'll build you like 3 or 4 more. All right, there we get a little EVR in the mix. We get Sungjae, Cam Young, Thompson, Horschel, Putnam, and EVR. There, that one looks good. Putnam, Kim, Cam Young, Alex Smalley, EVR, Sam Stevens. Not terrible. All right, two more for you. We had Chris Kirk to the mix. Why not? I mean, Chris Kirk could do worse. Ooh, we get Chan Kim. Okay. I'm curious. I want to see one more. I'm glad we saw one more because it's completely different. Burns, Clark, Thompson, Putnam, EVR, and Mac Hughes. That's great. All right. I actually really like that one. There are your lineups. Take a screenshot if you want. Anybody else that wants to take a screenshot, I can do that for you. I'll go to your segment of lineups and you can screenshot the screen right now. But these are Lombardis. You had 15 of them. You actually can pause the video and screenshot it. Well, who was next? Philip Hall. Yeah, this was Philip Hall's. We got him 10. Sam Burns Cantley. I think this is Shalik Harden's. JT and Sam Burns. Was this Bizzles? I don't remember. JT and Siwoo Kim. I don't remember who this is. Was this Joanne's maybe? Oh, Joanne was the first one. I don't remember who the second one was. And this would be Joanne's down here. Yeah. Take a screenshot if you want to look at the names. Okay. Cool. Let's see. John Bizzle says, and Ryan, if you're still in the chat, I'll get to you right after this. Kevin Yu, Bez Mitchell, and Michael Kim are 4 golfers not in the Marquee Tee Times. So you want to see if we can build a lineup following the rest of the sweet spot process with those guys in it. Okay. I'm going to bring these guys back down to earth. It's a 250. I get rid of the 50. And it's 200 from here, so it's 874. It's gonna be 929. Would be 1036. All right. So Kevin Yu, Mitchell, Bez, Mitchell, 73, right? There's Kevin Yu right above him. Oh, Mitchell 74. And who else? Michael Kim. All right, I gotta change this also. There you go. Cuckoo, Kachoo. I'm just gonna build you a couple. Oh, Carnivore, did I skip past you? Shame on me. Well, I can't see, man. Gone. Looks like it doesn't work out. We got 2 last year ones, 3 last year ones, 4 last year ones. That's too many last year ones. Too many golfers who finished inside the top 20 last year. That's going to be your issue. I'm only projecting a max of 2 to finish inside the top 10. And I could bump that up to 3, but it certainly is not going to be 4. So you essentially picked 4 golfers that last year won. Those were your golfers right there. Last year won. That's a lot, dude. All right. Let me find Mr. Carnivore. I am sorry, sir. Oh yeah, there you are. Would you just look at it? I like it. So small hands and Willie Z. Small hands and Willie Z. Alrighty. We'll get you 3 minutes on the board. Here we go. Wyndham Clark, Tom Kim, Zalatoris, Day, Straka, and Mitchell. No. J-Day, that's your... Okay, first of all, Carnivore, if you want to bring him back, go, we can. But we are going to say nay. I'm going to give Willie Z a 200-point bonus and build another one. I said yes to J-Day. Go figure. We'll bring Straka back. Burns, Kim, Zalatoris, Hoagie, Straka. That's a really good lineup. Straka's getting the boot. Clark, Kim, Zalatoris, Harmon, Vegas, EVR. Yeah, that one's fine too. We get Seabez in this one. There we go. We got a Seabez for our man John Bizzle. Harmon with this one too. You know what? I'm gonna bring some of these back. We're gonna kick EVR out. Like, I don't mind EVR, but that's a lot of EVR. A lot. Clark, Kim, Zalatoris, Hoagie, Straka, Mitchell. Yeah, I like that one. That one's a good one. Clark, Kim, Zalatoris, Hoagie, Mitchell, Glover. Sure. Sure. Don't mind it. We're changing this back to 49.6. Clark, Kim, Zalatoris, Hoagie, Vegas, Hughes. That's a good one. Clark, Kim, Zalatoris, Harmon, Mitchell, Billy Horschel. All right, I can get behind that. That one's fine. Clark, Kim, Zalatoris, Harmon, Mitchell, Doug Gim. Okay, yeah. 998877. I don't have an issue following that type of salary build. Jesper Svensson gets added to this mix. Okay, so wondering, do we just add a 6K golfer just to force it? Alex Smalley gets added to this, and I didn't even boost his score. Yeah, let's put a 6K golfer with this. I just want to see what the optimizer does. Victor Perez, Burnsy, Kim, Zalatoris, Hoagie, Keith. Yeah, that's a really good lineup. Like, Perez may be slightly questionable, but let's try one more. Or yeah, well, let's see what other good ones we can do. Matty Schmid, Brian Harmon. Yeah, sign me up. Okay, this is where the lineups are getting good. So let me build a couple more. Rio the Assassin.
Hadouken!
Clark, Kim, Zalatoris, Harmon, Hoagie, and
Hadouken!
love it. Adam Shank. Ryan Henson is, I think, family or friends with Adam Shank's wife. Adam Shank is due to have a baby in the next couple of weeks. So he might have a little motivation to play a little better. So I'm here for it. I'm all about it. All right. So we did the lineups for Bizzle. Pick Jason. Who is Jason? Let me quickly send out the optimizer to people who are requesting it. And then Ryan, I'll bring up your email. I kind of looked over it. I have no idea what it is, but we shall see. Oh, I'm sending out the wrong optimizer messages. So I'm copying an email, so don't mind the you only have X amount of minutes left. Oh boy. That's the wrong message. I might have been sending that one out to too many people. All right, Henson, you're getting the correct email. Okay. Good luck to you too. All right. Ryan, are you still in the chat? You better be. You better be. All right. All right, there we go. I'm going to open it up with Google Sheets. What are we looking at, sir? What are we doing with this? This is your ranking. What is this? Is this from the stone? Is this what you're giving me? You have no column headers. I'm not even sure. You have a, oh, you have Excel question mark on the sheet. You have a question on the sheet? I don't see a question. So what are you looking for, Ryan? These are the Marquee Tee Times right here. What are you looking for? You're not going to ask me to put the Marquee Tee Times next to these golfers, are you? Right? That's not what you're asking? Middle is your tee time. If you highlight a name, can it show names in the other two columns? No. So one thing to note when it comes to data, unfortunately, this is how I began it, and I haven't tried to fix it since. I went last name, comma, first name. And I, for whatever reason, thought that was the smartest thing to do when I first started putting together my data. What would have been smart is if I would have just followed basically the normal, what do you call it? Format, the normal format everyone else was doing. I don't even remember why I did last name, comma, first name. I don't have a clue. I want to say one of the sites I was pulling data from did it that way. So here's the issue. You know, if I did this, so Siwoo Kim, and then we'll take this Siwoo Kim, right? And I go 10 and 10. Wait, where's Siwoo? 7. So 7 and 7. And I were to go VLOOKUP, because that's what you want to do, is find a VLOOKUP. You're going to want to look at the column of K, or you can even go K2, comma, and then I would do something like this. You want to highlight the two columns your data's in, and then you select the column number, which for me is 2. Interesting. It actually might have. What if I go true? Interesting. All right, so maybe you can. Maybe you can. Oh my goodness. All right. In the other two columns. Okay. So I think what you really want to do, you want to add the Marquee Tee Times here. But here's the thing, Ryan. You have 18 names to go through. Why don't you go in your sheet, just type 0, 0, and just drill, like just copy all the way down. And then here's Justin Thomas. Justin Thomas is in group 1. Just go ahead and change it to group 1. Or you can just delete all this information and just put the ones. Like that, that's probably going to serve you better, because I'm not going to do this for you and then send it to you. Like, I want you to understand, I spend hours and hours and hours and hours learning about Excel and Power BI in a week, so I can provide you the data to showcase my information. I appreciate you as a follower. I absolutely 1000 appreciate you as a follower. I also appreciate the fact that you gave your giveaway to somebody else, and I also appreciate the fact that you're a member on SweetSpotDFS.com. But I'm not somebody that works for other people. Like, I provide stuff for people through YouTube and through my website. That's hard work that I've done. This is something easy you can do on your own. You can Google search this all by yourself. You can find this information out on your own. And basically, just to highlight this for you, you can see it up there. It's a VLOOKUP. You're going to do a VLOOKUP under whatever column that you have. Basically do this. You got to highlight the columns F, G, H, I, J. That's 5 columns. 5 columns. So we go 5 and you go true. Put in true. And then that's what it's going to look like. And that's not correct. That is not correct at all. Yeah, it's just not going to work. So the fact that, okay, so the issue remains. I thought we could do it easy. You can't do it easy. You can't do true. You can't put true in there. So what I was saying before is my format is wrong. You can't just do an easy VLOOKUP or anything like that. It's just not going to work. But there are only 18 names. You literally, the fastest way in my opinion is just to put zeros under a column, and then for each name, Justin Thomas, Jason Day, wherever you have Jason Day in your list, you just look up whatever their values are and basically go 1 and 1. See how long that took me? What, 10 seconds? So you can do it that way. Yeah, so it's a data thing. It's a data issue. I can't you need the exact value. So this value here, Siwoo Kim has to match this value here. But because my Siwoo Kim is this way, This doesn't match. Siwoo Kim and Siwoo Kim don't match. They're the same name, but they just don't match. So I guess maybe a fast way. This actually would be a faster way. Now that you say something like that, insert a new column. And I think Excel is gonna, like, the AI in Excel will do this for us. If we just start typing it a couple times, there you go. It just automatically does it. And you'll want to change the names. Actually, whoa. Let's go ahead, copy this, paste just the values, delete that little thing and add a space. And I think now you will have the correct names. VLOOKUP. No. M. Then we go G to K. And we are looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns and hit false because we're looking for an exact match. And then you just click and drag down and that should get them all. We can also put an if error in this. There you go. Easy as that. So if you need to rewatch this, just pause the video and rewind, and you can do it yourself. It was as simple as that. There you go. Trying to figure out a curious way to do it. Got it. Who's all in the chat right now? Say you're here and you get a roll call entry. I should have done it about an hour ago. Oof. Sitting for too long in one position. Air Carnivore needs one. There you go. Ryan, did you give me a lineup earlier? Did I miss it? No. You didn't get... Okay, that's fine. Okay, that's fine. I think so. When it comes to strategy, it's probably a foregone conclusion, or just probably don't need. I should have mentioned this maybe earlier in the stream. I think what I'm going to do is a shotgun approach, like a shotgun spray approach. I'm not. Oh man, last week I went so heavy on this core of 4. I went Davis Thompson, So I anchored around Davis Thompson, Taylor Pendrith, Hideki Mats. No, I didn't do Hideki. No, it was just those two. Just those two. Pendrith and Davis Thompson. Davis Thompson missed the cut. And I probably had 50% of my lineups with those two. And then I ended up making a $50 profit with the other 50% of my lineups, which I went back and I looked at some of the older videos that I created for the Sony. And, or no, for the American Express. And when I was reviewing the Sony for last year, I did the exact same thing. I anchored around Matt Kuchar at the Sony Open, and I got the same results as I did by anchoring around Davis Thompson. So, just terrible. Maybe I need to look at the review for the Farmers or next week's tournament. What is next week's? Is it the Farmers next week? Oh, by the way, if you didn't know, I do have a PGA Tour schedule page. If you want to take a look. I also could ask for your guys' opinion, what you'd like to add to this page. So week 4 is the Farmers. Next week is the Farmers. Wow. Okay. So yeah, if you want to check out the PGA Tour schedule, I also have it on the website under PGA Tour schedule. You can sort this by any year or any season, I should say. And if you wanted to look for, golf courses, you can also search here, like say Quail Hollow, for instance. Quail Hollow. Oh, you know what? I don't have it in 2025. That's why. If I were to select all and put in Quail, you will see all the tournaments that Quail Hollow was played at. There's your PGA Championship, President's Cup, and all the Wells Fargo championships in between. Should make this erasable. Okay. Let's select all and then deselect. Go back to season 2025. There we go. So yeah. Wow, next week is the Farmers. Yeah, I'll check out the Farmers review video and see, or the Farmers strategy video, which would have the review for the American Express, and see what I did right and what I did wrong. It's probably the right way to do it. Nuke 1 Live. What is up, dude? Or Nuke Live? Is it just Nuke Live? No, Nuke 1 Live. Haven't seen you in a hot minute. Where you been? What you been up to, man? I was talking about my strategy this week is going to be basically a shotgun spray. I think I'm going to do 50% of my lineups with a 10K golfer in it. And I'm going to set my exposures pretty low. And I'm going to let it just pick a bunch of different things. I'm not going to leave a lot of money on the table. I will be spending 49.6 and above. But I think my exposures are going to be low enough where I will have multiple combinations of golfers. Or actually, maybe what I'll end up doing is I will do the old school method that I used to do, where I would anchor around a 10K golfer, and then I would play all the different 9K golfers with them. So like I'd do one Justin Thomas with one Burns lineup, then Cantlay, then Finau, then Clark, then Kim, then Grazerman, then Kim, then Young, and then I'd probably do it over again, and I'd go in a different order. So maybe I don't start with Burns, but I'll start with Cantlay, and I'll go every other, then Clark, then Grazerman, then Young, then Kim, then Finau, then Burns, and then I'd do it all over again, and I'd probably start Burns and go every 4. Go Burns, Clark, Cam Young. That's not every 4, but I'm making things up at this time. Then maybe go Kim, Cantlay, Siwoo, Finau, Grazerman. and just build as many different lineups that way. That gets me close to 20 lineups, and then I'll do the same thing for Sung Jae, and that'll get me to 40 lineups, and I'm building around 100 lineups this week, so that's about 50% of my lineups. And then the remaining ones I just won't have a 10K. Actually, maybe what I'll do is I'll build some 10 8K lineups. 10K, then 8K lineups. But I kind of want to stick around that 50% ownership mark. So yeah. Any questions for anything? I'm probably going to log off here pretty soon. So if you have something, I definitely will answer it. If you want lineups built, I can build some lineups for you guys. We built 94 lineups tonight. It's pretty good. Also, if you're in chat and you want to see something, or not so much see something, if you want me to add anything to this page, again, this tells you basically, oh gosh. This will tell you what type of salary builds are throughout every event or just for the American Express. God, I love this tool. I can't wait to clean it up, make it look really presentable. You'll get to see all the different salary builds for each event. I should zoom out. I made it so you had to select any of these lineups, but I'd like you all to see like what the actual percentages are. I love this tool. This tool's great. And 98776, baby. All right, no questions. Again, if you got any feedback on this tool and you'd like me to add certain fields and stuff like that, I can certainly do that. You let me know. Yeah, Ryan, you're welcome. I don't mind teaching. I got no issue with that. You know, it is one of those things though. You know, you're a member on YouTube. It might be best to leave that for members only videos, since it's just an intimate time with me and you guys, whoever shows up. Versus putting it on this podcast, since this will reach more people. I'm sure they don't want to sit down and watch me do stuff on Excel for other people that have nothing. I mean, it does have something to do with fantasy golf, but I'm not teaching anybody fantasy golf. I'm just teaching people Excel. Just food for thought in the future. Okay. If you need to reach out to me, the email was just on the banner there, SweetSpotDFS@gmail.com. You can also DM me on Twitter @SweetSpotDFS. But I'm going to log off. I am tired. But I appreciate everyone being here. Good luck this week. I hope we win. One of us wins a lot of money. That'd be sweet. And be on the lookout for new updates to the SweetSpotDFS website. Do you have DFS SweetSpot hoodies merchandise? Sweatshirt merchandise? I have one SweetSpotDFS sweatshirt left, and it's a double XL. It's a 2XL. So that's why, not that's why, but a double XL. The sweatshirts cost $40. Shipping is going to be about $15. So altogether, it'll be $55 for the sweatshirt, but I don't know how many 2XL people I have in the chat. I can also create sweatshirts. I do plan to create a couple sweatshirts, so I can certainly do that. But I also have t-shirts. So let me bring up. Let me show you what I've got. Got to put in a code. Give me a second. So I think the next sweatshirt that I'm going to do is going to be this one right here. This logo on my t-shirts looks awesome. So that's probably what I'm going to do, is this sweatshirt at some point in time. This one I have a 2XL in. So I got a 2XL in this sweatshirt right here. That's the only one available. I can put in custom orders. Anybody who wants me to put in a sweatshirt, you're just going to have to pay for the whole thing. So I can build anything. I've got a lot of these already, like kind of on queue or in queue. But yeah. I've got t-shirts, by the way. I've got a full stack of t-shirts of this one. I've got a full stack of t-shirts of this one, the one I'm currently wearing. Full stack of t-shirts of that one, and I also have the corner logo that looks like this one. It's black one. This one's good. I'm surprised. We had a community day where people sat here with me while I built out t-shirts for people, and we voted on them, and those were the ones. Very surprising that they like this one right here. Way better. Excuse me. Much better than I thought. This is really good. Oh, AJ, you got your shirts too. That's awesome, dude. Everyone got their shirts. Ryan got his 2 shirts. You had 2 shirts. Joanne had a sweatshirt and a shirt. Jim Lemoyne. Jim, I don't know if you're watching this right now. I don't know if you'll even get to this point when you do a replay. I need to know where to send your t-shirt. Anyways. All right. Anything else? Anything new? We're gonna call her quits. You gonna wear it at your gig this week? That's awesome, dude. Love hearing that. That's great. All right, dudes. We're gonna take off. Thank you all for watching. Leave a like, comment, subscribe on your way out, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, bye.